most popular guys in the dating commentary industry for men is a guy by the name of Kulie, who runs a platform called the Fu Gazy Podcast. He's quite popular on Instagram, and he's very popular here on YouTube. In fact, he's also known as one of the most prolific debaters on the platform.
Stop the cap.
Nah, seriously, he is a pretty decent debater. In fact, he likes to do that more than he likes to give advice. And of course, in this dating and relationship industry, many of these guys are competing for the same customer base. While some guys are dating coaches for men specifically, you have other people who do dating coaches for both men and women. And in contrast to Kulie, there's a guy by the name is, actually his technical name is I Am Truth Hurts 357. This guy goes all across the country, with dating and relationship videos. And recently he made a video on his Instagram that got a lot of people in their feelings.
Dating one man at a time is the stupidest shit that you could ever do in life. The reason why this is so stupid is because when you date one man at a time, you have nothing to compare him to.
So again, this is the clip that a lot of the dating coaches had an issue with. It could seem like he is basically simping for women, let some guys tell it. Although to be quite fair, he does the same thing for men too when he's addressing men. So he is kind of balanced, but maybe for some folks, not in this video. And so he actually attended a panel of dating coaches where they discussed this video. And guess who had a problem with it? Our guy, Fu Gazy Podcast.
Right now, which is nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest thing I've actually ever heard. The reason why it's really dumb is because this is one of the reasons why we are in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women think that they're 10s, but they're really 4s because they have so many options. They're utilizing all of their options. They're getting so much free attention from all of these men. So they're delusional. And also experience isn't attractive on women. Men aren't attracted to experienced women. Woo!
Again, Kulie is not a dumb guy. He is a good debater at times in spots, and he's making some strong points. Men are not attracted to experienced women, and he's giving, some background to why dating multiple men for a woman is not a good look and some of the adverse effects of that. But then he digs deeper.
Not only that, let's say if the woman isn't having sex, the woman is still being influenced by those men. Oh, I was with this guy. This guy was funny. Oh, this guy isn't. I think that it's the dumbest thing ever. Women shouldn't be sharing their space and their energy with everyone. I think that that's sacred. Like, for example, would you want your daughter to date many men? Or would you prefer your daughter to utilize discernment and you, the father, help her in the dating process of selecting the right man besides many men?
Damn.
Now, he even points to a larger picture in the wider context. Would you want your son dating a woman like that? You yourself would not desire that for your son. He's really putting I Am Truth Hurts in a position where it's very hard to rebound from this. And for a short time, I Am Truth Hurts falls into the trap.
Why I stay far away from conversations with beta men. And I stay really, 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 really far away from conversations with beta men because I would never expect for them to grasp a mindset of an alpha man.
Now, instead of responding logically to what Kulie is saying, he does come up with an insult, basically inferring that Kulie is a beta male and all of that. Now, it is true that earlier on, Kulie was to say, or he did say that what Truth Hurts was saying in that video is the dumbest thing he ever heard in his life. So, okay, point granted, but he could have directly just addressed Kulie without all of that. But then he does.
One thing that we don't have in common is, I'm gonna chill. Men
Who you
are
talking about? Who you talking about? Yada?
Men are not attracted to experienced women. That is something that the good brother said. He said that men are not attracted to experienced women. If we could even like go into history and go down the slate of some of the most sought after women, I guess we could throw with J-Lo out there. She was pretty experienced and pretty ran through. And are you saying that we weren't attracted to J-Lo? We can talk about a Kim K. Can we say that she's less attractive because she's experienced? I mean, we can go on and on. Nicki Minaj. I mean, we can go down a slate that we're definitely attracted to some women that have experience. The reason why I don't get into these conversations.
So he names several examples of ladies who are experienced that still have good value. He talks about Kim Kardashian, but he lays his foundation with even a better example, Jennifer Lopez. But the issue with Truth Hurts is that he won the debate and probably didn't know why. Now, don't get me wrong. His rebuttal was a lot better than what I would have expected. So this was a good rebuttal to Kulie's initial argument. But what he doesn't know is Kulie is lying.
Woo!
Rewind. Last year, Kulie from the Fu Gazy Podcast got caught up in a big issue. We found out that while he was telling men not to deal with single moms and doing X, Y, and Z for the most part, he found himself in a relationship with a single mom, a woman who was not only white, but had 2 white kids from a previous relationship. And the whole argument that Kulie is basing his idea off of right now is that men do not value women with a lot of experience. That's interesting because if you're a woman and you have 2 children by another man or men, then what does that make you? A woman with a lot of experience.
Woo!
But of course, Kulie believes that he is very, very intelligent, and maybe in spots he is. And he was confronted with a lot of this information last year. I mean, we all made a lot of money last Christmas talking about Kulie and how disingenuous he was and how he was misleading his followers. Now, to be fair, he did admit that he was involved with a single mom, but for his bigger, larger clips, for his wider audience, you would think that a man like him was too high value to deal with single moms. In fact, Kulie has episodes in which he's dissing single moms in his podcast studio. This is the God's honest truth. But the way that Kulie tried to defend against being a man who has and got with a single mom and is still in a relationship with a white single mom, this is what he told his audience.
So if you're going to date a single mom, you got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
So Kulie says, listen, guys, you should be weary of single moms. You should be weary. But the problem is, I'm not the normal guy, and neither is my chick. Rewind. And this is why I Am Truth Hurts win this debate. Don't get me wrong, Kulie is a fairly good debater. He would give most people problems every day. The issue is that Kulie doesn't live up to what he's talking about. And if somebody were just to talk to him about his own lifestyle in his own situation, that argument and that debate would have been over in 5 minutes. Because all I Am Truth's 357 would have to say is nobody loves experienced women more than you.
Woo!
And so they want to say that I Am Truth Hurts is basically simping because he's basically catering to this audience of women in this particular post. And don't get me wrong, I Am Truth Hurts is trying to make money. He is a relationship and life coach. He does want people to book sessions. That is true. I mean, this is how he's making money. And I believe he's doing fairly well. But the issue is, so does Kulie. Kulie also wants to make money by offering consultations. He's also using his platform to profit. Of course, he has his image in which he believes that, you know, he is pretty smart. He's intelligent. That's why every video, if you look at him, you would say, like, look at what he has to say on almost every video here, right? Dude crashed out after Kulie refuted his argument. Fake alpha male rages at Kulie, then gets destroyed. Woman gets frustrated after getting her views checked on duties. Everything has Kulie as the ultimate debater who never takes losses. But in fact, Kulie took the loss that he's trying to say that men don't want to take, which is dealing with experienced women. And if you deal with a woman that has 2 kids, especially if you're black and those kids are non-white, and I know you may not believe me, but here are some AI photos, okay? These are AI pictures of the real Kulie. I didn't want to show his real family, so I decided to create these AI images. But if those of you who saw it last year, you can go and look, and this is exactly almost the same. That is Kulie with his daughter from his first relationship with a white woman, and then that is Kulie who is with his girl and her 2 white kids. And then what they tried to do is remove all of these photos from the internet, because once he got busted out, he just deleted all of this stuff as if people were not going to save it. And then he's on these platforms literally giving advice as if he is not guilty of the same things he's telling guys that they are simping for. And this is why relationship and dating coaches are typically, not all of them, but many of them tend to be at least hypocritical, are trash. Okay, this is what they typically do. And they typically want to make money, and they'll say anything to make money. And nobody is guilty of that as Fu Gazy Podcast. Now, here's the issue with him. He is a fairly good debater. So on positions, he can frustrate, I think, like 70 or 80% of people. And again, he can get somebody flustered. He can get somebody in their feelings. He can get somebody responding emotionally, and he can pick and play with words and create straw man arguments all day so that he can beat around the topic. And these are debate strategies that he uses to prove his position, but he can't get away from his decisions in his own personal life, that he is fraudulent based on his own behavior. I don't hate David Kulie. I mean, he's a pretty good content creator, but that's what he is. He's a content creator.
Woo!
He cannot help you be successful with women because he himself, has been repeating these talking points from Fresh and Fit word for word, from other people word for word. I mean, this is just a money hustle. And I mean, if that's what it is, just say that. But it's not that people don't know or they won't know. Like, if you're not being true to the game, and David Kulie just simply is not true to the game. He is, at best, he's fraudulent. All right. He's entertaining. He can have exciting content. But is he for real? Unfortunately not. He is a little bit better than Donovan Sharp though.
Woo!
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Which is your fire. You just heard the bell. We're out.